Perched on the rugged north coast of Cornwall lies St Ives, a town where fishing heritage, seafaring tales, and artistic inspiration have intertwined for centuries. Today, as we soar above its turquoise waters and winding streets, we'll uncover the fascinating history of this once small fishing village turned world-renowned destination. At the heart of St Ives lies its harbour, a safe haven from the Atlantic swells, a centre of trade, and the beating heart of this Cornish town for centuries. From the days of fishing fleets and smugglers to today's colourful boats and sandy quays, the harbour has always been the soul of St Ives. The earliest fishing settlement here dates back to the Middle Ages, when St Ives was little more than a cluster of cottages by the shore. The natural curve of the bay offered shelter, but it was exposed to storms and shifting sands. As trade grew, the need for a proper harbour became clear. By the 15th century, a simple pier was in place, allowing boats to unload their catch and protect themselves from the Atlantic winds. This marked the beginning of St Ives' rise as a fishing port. In 1767, famed engineer John Smeaton, known for his pioneering lighthouses, designed a new stone pier for St Ives. His work extended the harbour's protection and allowed more boats to dock safely. Today, this pier, extended in the 19th century, remains one of the town's most iconic features. Here, the pilchard trade flourished. Dozens of fishing boats crowded the harbour, landing tons of silver fish. On the quays, women and children salted and pressed the pilchards into barrels bound for Europe. The harbour rang with the sounds of trade, gulls shrieking, fishermen shouting, merchants bargaining. But not all the harbour's trade was legal. St Ives, like much of Cornwall, was notorious for smuggling. The same harbour that welcomed honest fishermen also sheltered contraband. Casks of brandy and bales of tobacco slipped ashore under cover of darkness, hidden in cellars beneath the cottages. The twisting lanes of St Ives were the perfect cover for these illicit activities. As the fishing industry grew, the harbour expanded. In 1890, a new pier was added, giving even greater protection from the Atlantic swell. But just as the harbour reached its peak, change was on the horizon. The once abundant pilchards began to vanish, and with them the bustling trade that had sustained the town. By the early 20th century, the fishing fleets had dwindled. The harbour, once packed with sails and nets, grew quieter. Yet the decline of fishing paved the way for a new life, tourism. Where once fish barrels were stacked, now visitors strolled along the quayside, sketching the view or dipping their toes in the harbour sands. For the artists who came to St Ives, the harbour became a muse. Its still waters, weathered boats, and golden light inspired countless canvases. From romantic depictions of the fishing trade to bold modernist visions, the harbour was painted again and again, a symbol of Cornwall's enduring relationship with the sea. Some of Britain's most famous artists lived and worked just steps from the harbour. J.M.W. Turner painted here in the early 1800s, capturing the golden Cornish light in dramatic seascapes. Later, in the late 19th century, painters such as James Whistler and the marine artist Julius Olson set up studios overlooking the bay, teaching and inspiring others. In the 20th century, St Ives became an international centre of modern art. Ben Nicholson and Barbara Hepworth moved here in the 1930s, founding a movement that blended modernism with the natural forms of Cornwall's coast. Hepworth's sculptures, many inspired by the shapes of boats and harbours, still stand in her garden today. Today, the harbour is a blend of past and present. A handful of fishermen still work these waters, bringing in crab, mackerel and lobster. Alongside them, pleasure boats take visitors out to Seal Island or across the bay. The old pilchard cellars have become cafes and galleries, but the harbour itself remains unchanged, a working port at the heart of a community. From its medieval beginnings to the golden age of fishing, from smugglers' haunts to artists' muse, St Ives Harbour is more than stone and water. It is the memory of a town, a place where generations have lived, worked, and dreamed by the sea. The harbour is the true heart of St Ives, past, present, and future.